And we are going to have 5 lights, and it's going to be the track cleared and the creators ready for the sprint race. And the creators go racing in Kota, and it's a good start from that guy Vince. You'd expect that on the soft tyres. Who else can get involved? Razin Shai trying to get by GB68. He's done so. That's a Haas running wide. It's Punju in the Haas, but Adam Sanderson losing position here because that guy Vince, Razin and GB68 has got through, and now it is Razin who takes the lead of the race. He's got by that guy Vince on those medium tyres, and that's been a great start for him.
Go free-wide into turn one's never really a good idea, but it looks like Punju.
No, it's carnage.
Oh,
it's absolute carnage.
It's gone.
Mr. Dale's been spun free wide. Tom, Mr. Dale, and Punju got into it, and that is disaster for Mr. Dale. He's won 2 sprint races in the Creator Series, but he's got to go a long, long way here to recreate that kind of form, and there's only 8 laps remaining, and Tom managed to survive that. Punju was another car who fell down the order, so Tom can breathe a sigh of relief as he's up into the points positions in the 7th, and we can actually see the winners and losers, and Tom is a big, big winner. 6 positions made up on the opening lap. And I tell you what, Emphatic isn't taking it lightly. He wants to put the pressure on, but he needs to keep an eye out on Safso just behind in the Aston Martin, who has now pulled out of the slipstream and is going to go for a move down into turn 1. Big Red, they elevate 330 feet, and he elevates himself into the top 10. Does he? No, Emphatic still fighting as they plunge downwards towards turn 2 and head towards the Red River. Safso just about edges Emphatic as they slalom through, and that was great racing there for 10th position, 2 places away from the points. Safso will have to get by M. Skyzy and Tiamat Marduk to climb into the points here. And that guy Vince will be under pressure here. GB68 looking to slingshot himself down the straight and does indeed get in front before the braking zone. Simple as you like. And crucially back under that second window on Razin Shai. So that was really important for the Aston Martin driver as we see more action behind Pondon and Tom getting into it. And Tiamat Marduk has actually leapfrogged the both of them. So Tiamat Marduk in front of Tom now. Tom in 6th position, trying to find a way through as they come to the left-hander of turn 16, and I don't think he's going to do it now through the quadruple apex right-hander. Tom's just going to have to settle down, but that was expert work from Tiamat Marduk. And Pondon with a big, big moment out of the final corner, and it will be DRS open for M Sky Z as they head towards Big Red and climb up the hill, and it invites you in for an overtake, and he does go up the inside, but will Pondon think about the switchback and try and hang it around the outside of turn 2? Indeed he does, and if Pondon can keep him up there, he can stay with it through Red River, but no, Sky Z makes the place, so the championship leader up into 7th.
And it might be by yours truly as we ride on board. He's going to the inside, very, very late braking. And he's going to try and get the move done on Curbs there as well. Curbs left the door open and then said, thank you very much. And he makes a beautiful double overtake, creating that car gap between himself and Fom once again. But how long is it going to last? It's not even lasted, has it? Fom's already through. Curbs has just let both of them go, which might be a sensible option here to try and keep his tyres in better check. And hopefully be able to follow these guys for as long as possible using DRS.
As Curbs has picked up a 3-second penalty, and he could be saying bye-bye to points, as that guy Vince could be saying bye-bye to 2nd place for now, as GB68 makes that DRS move simply down the 1 kilometre straight here we have at the Circuit of the Americas, and they just work together. It's a bit of a cat and mouse, and DRS chicken for now for these two as they fight for 2nd place. They've got a good gap back to 4th.
I feel like it must be stated Razin has had an absolutely dominating performance in this sprint race. Got up into the lead and he kind of checked out from there, didn't he? As Razin comes across the line to win the sprint race here around Austin for the USGP. With GB holding on to P2 and that guy Vince putting up a mighty performance on the soft tyres there to round out the top 3. With Fom, Tiamat Marduk, Skyzy, Safso, Curbs. Curbs ended up just barely keeping a hold of a point there. While Emphatic ends up missing out with Adam Sanderson, Peya, Yorit, Pondon, Matty D, and then we're just waiting for the drivers who have made a pit stop, whether that's because of a penalty, a bit of damage. Obviously, we've had that little incident coming up there. It's a bit rough. It's a bit rough. On the outside of the track, as we can see Skyzy using every single millimeter he's allowed to use of this track before the track limits. That's a person who's been doing some time trial practice, and that's a person who's going to get very, very close but not quite be able to get the pole position. So it's looking pretty good for Razin and the McLaren team so far. But it's going to be rough. We're going to have to see how the rest of them all file through, as Curbs is currently in P3, but we can expect a lot of these drivers who haven't actually set a time on the soft compounded tyre to really shoot up the grid. Speaking of, Ben is one of them, and he's going to jump himself up into P3. 6 tenths behind Skyzy, though.
Yeah.
There's a bit of a gap there, isn't there?
There's a bit of a gap, but more times are going to come in here. And someone who's going quick through the middle sector is Meraki. We haven't heard much from the Williams driver. His teammate currently up in 5th position, but we're going to see times come tumbling down here as intermediate times are cleared. And Meraki through the right-hander here, and he has Tom just ahead. We're going to see times from the both of them. Tom will be first over the line. No, he won't. He's going to be starting 16th because he has absolutely mucked up his qualifying, and that is bad for him. Meraki jumps into second car into the 131s. GB68 out there looking pretty impressive. He comes around the final corner, named after Mario Andretti, the 3-time winner of the 12-hour Sebring, and into 4th place is GB68. So that is a very, very good time from him. Tom, the big shock here. He'll be starting last compared to Chesnoid, but of course Chesnoid got that DSQ. He'll be starting second to last. As we do have the track cleared and the creators ready for the Grand Prix, and we have 4 lights, 5 lights, and the creators go racing in the United States, and it looks to be a very good start from Razin Shai, but Meraki still looking to get up the inside into Big Red as they climb 331 foot, and it is Razin Shai keeping it around the outside as they plunge down into turn 2. GB68 just behind. Meraki doesn't manage to gain that place. There is a yellow flag in the background. There has been a collision, and it's Tom and Pondon. Tom in the mud here, coming through turns 2. He's had a collision, and he's going to be absolutely gutted with that. We saw him fuming, and we do have a virtual safety car to calm things down here at the start of this race. As we do go racing, and it's GB68 straight up the inside of Razin Shai, and that's Tim at Marduk who's been involved in that collision, and Meraki has just sidled his way up the inside thanks to that collision, but Razin Shai isn't taking it sitting down, and he will hang it around the outside and stick with the inside of turn 19, but Meraki again up the inside around the Andretti, and Razin Shai forced out there, tucking behind, and Razin Shai is going to try and get out of the turn and up the inside into Big Red, and it is these two battling into turn 1 in consecutive laps, and Meraki a little bit of contact and another virtual safety car as Razin Shai just about takes that, and Tim at Marduk loses out massively thanks to GB68's send.
And here as we see Meraki go for that move around the outside, he's had enough of waiting behind Razin, and he wants to get a little bit of cold air, go into the tyres, just to cool them down a little bit more, because tyre management will be an absolute key part to this race, Gareth. I'm telling you, and I'm calling it right now. The drivers who look after their tyres the best, who lead the front of the packs, are going to be towards, the front end of the grid when it comes towards lap 50.
With the tyres going better for Sky Z as well here, I think he's got a chance of a move down the straight. He almost passed him into turn 11, thought better of it, and he pulls out of the slipstream. Both cars with DRS here, and now Sky Z will go on the attack with Meraki a little bit further back. That guy Vince is trying to attack Peya, and Tim at Marduk just not choosing to follow that snake, as Hayden Gullis is still battling with Emphatic, and in fact Savso having a stab up the inside of turn 12, and that'll be the outside of turn 13 here, and that is going to be Emphatic just holding that position. Savso getting desperate to get through here. And it's now MCIC, the championship leader, trying to overtake Meraki down the straight. It's going to be a simple job because he's just going to have so much overspeed down the straight. But Meraki, ever the one to get involved with the battle. And he may think about a riposte down the inside of turn 13, but those softs are reaching the cliff. And that means that MSkyZ is in a very, very decent position here, as he could just settle into the sunset here. What MSkyZ and Meraki would love is some kind of safety car, wouldn't they? Is that guy Vince right behind Peya, but Tiamat Marduk has spotted an opportunity down the inside at turn 11, and both of these cars will have DRS. There's almost a huge stroll along DRS instant down the straight. They just tangled up with each other, somehow kept it going in the right direction, but Tiamat Marduk will try to go around the outside of Peya, but there's contact between the two, and that means that guy Vince has just got himself cleanly into 4th position, and Peya and Tiamat Marduk have lost a lot of time there, and it's now Hayden Gullis and Emphatic who are battling just behind, and they are right behind this duo there. I don't know quite what happened, but it'd be really interesting to see those on the clip book again. But that was just a slight incident. I think Mercedes just sending it a little bit too far into turn 12.
We've got a VFC, and is that for Matty in Sector 1?
That is for Matty. He's had a problem, and he has got no front wing. But that does give the opportunity for some cars to pit. The leading trio had gone past the pits. Meraki and Razin Shai will be absolutely fuming with that one. That guy Vince into the pits here, and he is going to be picking up a new set of tyres. Almost perfect timing for him. A pair of hards for him. And you do lose less time at pit stops because of virtual safety cars. And there's a double stack at Ferrari. Emphatic caught behind. Yeah, Razin Shai sends one up the inside into turn 12. And Meraki loses out on that position. Tiamat Marduk couldn't capitalise on any of that action. Very, very honest, but MSkyZ does make a late one down the inside and just about avoids the McLaren in front. So easy to get caught out under braking, and MSkyZ up into 2nd. It will only be a matter of time before he retakes the summit of this race. And now MSkyZ will have DRS on Razin Shai, and Razin Shai won't be close enough to defend this one. He will try to break the toe as much as possible and keep the inside because he'll want to battle into turn 1, but it is going to be very simple, and Razin Shai is going to make it very hard to actually go for a move there because he's just not quite quick enough. In fact, Meraki has gone for a move up the inside of Razin Shai and has got into 2nd position, but crucially that battling has meant that they have fallen out of the DRS window for MSkyZ, and for Mercedes and MSkyZ it is hammer time for him to try and break away from the pack and get as much offset as possible so he can cover off any undercut that may be coming. And how quickly do you think the likes of Meraki, Razin and Tiamat Marduk will be going for that undercut, seeing MSkyZ disappear off into the distance like he is? And Hayden is closing. Does he think about a move? He does think about a move. He gets it up the inside, and he's going to try and push Emphatic off, but Emphatic will have the inside for turn 13, and Hayden Gullis will try to go under, but Emphatic parks it on the apex of 13, and that guy Vince right behind, losing time, hand over fist as these two go at it. Hayden Gullis again in front and pushing Emphatic off, and that allows that guy Vince to get back by Emphatic here. This is a great battle, fantastic scrap for 6th in this race. As we do see a pitter, and it's that guy Vince wants to get out of the battle, and it's a perfectly timed pit stop because there's a safety car, because Mr. Dale has done his usual thing of retiring from a session, and it's a big blowout moment around the quadruple right-hander of turn 18, a real sign that his tyres were overheating and he lost grip, and this safety car is going to turn this race on its head. And we are ready to go racing again, and it is a fantastic restart by Razin Shai. He's kept MSkyZ very, very honest, and he's going to even think about a move into turn 1 here, and from a very difficult situation he makes yet another move at turn 1, and now Meraki is right behind MSkyZ, and he's looking for a move on him. He's going around the outside of turn 2, and they're going to go too wide through Red River, and that means MSkyZ shuffles backwards, and Tiamat Marduk now right on the back of the Mercedes driver who's on those bad tyres for this restart, not getting the heat into them, and Tiamat Marduk slinging and rotating his car as they crest the hill through turns 10 and plunge down towards turn 11. Does he think about a move straight away, watching his rivals disappear down the road? He does, but he pushes him out, and MSkyZ will be a bit annoyed with the contact that was caused there, and it's Hayden Gullis in 5th position looking to go for 4th, and will he go for 2 for 1? He's got sublime speed down the straight, and the gap is open, and he just doesn't go for it there. at the front, and it's 3 wide up into Big Red, and it's M Sky Z up the inside, and who is going to fall out here? Hayden Gullis and the Mercedes coming into contact. Of course, the Mercedes is where the M Sky Z is racing this season, and M Sky Z just gets ahead of Hayden Gullis, and Hayden Gullis there will be furious to lose that position because he was making a move on Emphatic, on that guy Vince, sorry. But there is another battle right now, and it is Razin Shai being overtaken by Meraki. That was very easy because Meraki had built a gap that was sustainable for the overtake down the long straight here.
Is rolling in now.
And Tim McMurdoch's gone for a move into turn 1. Sorry to cut you off there, Josh. Tim McMurdoch into a move for turn 1, and that is him up to second. And can Meraki break that DRS? At the rate he's going, but Tim McMurdoch does go for that move on lap 54 into turn 12, and does he get a better exit this time? He certainly does, and Meraki will have to hope that track limits is going to be a big moment here for Tim McMurdoch, because Tim McMurdoch has the pace and the energy and the style to pull away here and take his second win of the season. Meraki is going to go around the outside of Tim McMurdoch, and Tim McMurdoch is going to leave it on the inside here, and there's going to be contact between the two, and in fact they go into each other. A bit of a swerve from Tim McMurdoch. Razin Shai right behind, waiting to pick up any of the scraps. Meraki parking it on the apex of turn 13. Clever racing, but Tim McMurdoch slams it up the inside of turn 16, pushes Meraki off track, and there's Razin Shai into the lead of the race. He's started on pole, and he's had to battle and wait and be patient throughout all of it, but Razin Shai is going to take his first win of the season, his third win overall, this round 3 as they round Andretti, and Razin Shai has absolutely turned up trumps here and won the Grand Prix. Tim McMurdoch second, Meraki in third. It was all that lunge by Tim McMurdoch that gave Razin Shai that win. M Sky Z is going to come round in fourth, but that was an absolutely cracking end of the race. And look, the fight for T5. Oh, Peya's in the wall. He's DNF'd. He's out of the race. He's not going to score any points here after all of that. Hayden Gullis secures 5th, his second best finish in the Creator Series. Tom back into 6th position. 7th is Safso. 8th, that guy Vince. 9th, Emphatic, and Punju in 10th. But of course, points all the way down to 15th here. And Peya, who's DNF'd on the final corner, means this whole race is for nothing. And he is going to fall out of the top 15 here. And Pondon is going to pick up the final point here. What a dramatic end to that race. That was wild. What is your view of that?
But we do have Razin, Ben, Meraki, Skyzy, Hayden, Thom, Safso, that guy Vince, Emphatic, Punju, GB, Adam Sanderson, JJ Van Jeffen, Curbs, Pondon, Chesnoid, and then Peugeot with that unfortunate DNF, and Matty and Dale with DNFs too slightly earlier on in the race.